Hi everyone. So yeah, my name is Sergei. I'm from core developer. One of the core developers of Robonomics.network. And today, in the next 45 minutes, I guess it's just a second. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, in the next 45 minutes, we will have a short introduction to Internet of Things market for today. Secondly, after that, we will try to use very simple decentralized application. Just for example, how you can interact with a smart lamp on this table. After that, I will show you more complex scenario of using Kusama per chain in combination with very famous open source solution for home automation with name Home Assistant. And in the last part, I will share with you some videos about our R&D projects, what we making right now and started in Kusama in last year. Yeah. So let's start from the history of Internet of Things. I found a very nice story. What happened around, as you can see, 40 years ago. So it's happened before Internet. And one guy connected Coca-Cola vending machine to ARPANET to share information about temperature of our bottles with colleagues, and they started to use this information to find a better Coca-Cola in vending machine. I recommend you scan this report and find this story in internet after that, because other examples of Internet of Things, in my opinion, more about like governments, projects, and other stuff, but in reality, it not happened. But it's a small and nice story happened. So yeah, but real use cases and IT applications happening just right now. And the main reason of that is here on this slide. If you want to build IoT application, you need to have different communication protocols between sensors and user application. You should have a specific hardware implementation, like a Raspberry Pi, like Arduino, and so on. And you need to have cloud services to connect your home automation and user applications. And if you try to find more information about ZigBee, LoRa, MQTT, Raspberry Pi, and other, you will find that all this project have a traction around 10 years. So it's a very long journey for all participants of IoT market, and only in this year, last 2 or maybe 4 years, you really can just go to Amazon website and find some brands, ecosystem solutions like Honeywell or Aqara or other stuff. And of course, you can find a lot of IoT devices for geeks and for your project that you can make as engineer. Anyway, brand or not, they use the same technologies like Arduino ASP on hardware side. They use the same communication protocols like ZigBee, Wi-Fi, and other stuff. And when you will try to put some sensors inside your home and will make the first steps with the home automation, your principal scheme of connecting our stuff will be the same. You will put around 4, 5, maybe 10 sensors, And part of them will be like a low power consumption sensor like this one, or water leak sensor with this small battery. And that is the reason why these sensors use protocols like ZigBee and energy efficient protocols. Other type of IoT devices in your home will be like this smart lamp or smart plug. So it means they will have a direct access to your electricity network inside home. So they will use the other protocols. Mostly it will be like Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. And our data from your sensors will be collected by IoT Hub. IoT Hub is not a computer, it's more like Wi-Fi router. And main idea of inventing IoT Hub was just collecting data from different communication protocols. So IoT Hubs collecting data from, for example, from ZigBee and Wi-Fi protocol sensors, put it together, and send it to cloud. What is funny is that most of, I guess, 100% of IoT hubs have a direct connection to endpoint in some clouds, and you can change it. Any type of IoT hubs, what you can find on the market, will have a direct access on some brand clouds. And in the final stage of connecting your home automation with your mobile phone, you just go to App Store or Google Store and find some IoT application, use your cloud credentials, and our data will be available for you just from the cloud. And in my opinion, in reality, it's a very good step for your first meeting with IoT market. So it means if you will try just buy some from Amazon and put sensors inside your home and start using any type of IoT application to interact with them, it's enough for your first steps, it's enough for your first month. But what will be happening to the next several months? Because in time when you will try to install sensors inside your home, you will make some Google search. And of course, internet will remember that you now have an IoT infrastructure inside your home, and will push more information about IoT, about IoT use, IoT something else. And in some day, when you will go to office or back from office to your home, you will find an article like this one. Or like this one. Anyway, and it will happen with you every month or every 6 months. You will find new articles about some cybersecurity, about some privacy issues, and other stuff. So, in some day, maybe, mostly I guess if you're an engineer or you care about your privacy, you will think maybe I can interact with my sensors in home without cloud connection. So like how on this slide, just put additional one computer inside my home, like a Raspberry Pi. It's under $100 computer. Connect IoT Hub with the home server and just interact from my mobile phone with my home computer, which will collect our data from IoT Hub. And yes, you can. This is it. This is a really very nice home automation solution with name Home Assistant. It's open source solution with around 500,000 users around the world and hundreds and thousands of packages for different sensors and some automation scripts and not bad developers community. Here is the statistics of what they are doing every month. As you can see, it's a not bad project on GitHub. But let's say so, you just can go to GitHub get source code or binaries, install it on your Raspberry Pi, and yes, after that you can interact with your sensors inside your home without direct connection to cloud. Yeah, but let's try to make more complex this diagram. Main problem what you will have after you will think about cloud connection is not a security where you can have a big privacy issues. And the main problem will be after you will decide to broke your connection to cloud is a home assistant and any solution to avoid cloud connection will work very nice in your local network. But if you would like to interact with your home automation outside your home, like just double check about your smart lock or about lights and any other stuff, you will find that you have the same issues what you try to avoid about cybersecurity, because in case of cloud, of course they connect hundreds and thousands users together, but in the same time they have experienced administrators, they have developers, they have support. But in case when you decided to broke your connection to cloud and install like a home assistant on Raspberry Pi inside your home, our question about cybersecurity and privacy will be on your side. And as many developers know that it's not a question about your experience with any type of technology, it's more about your time and every day happening different stuff with communication protocols and others. So when you try to avoid cybersecurity risks, start using Home Assistant inside your home automation, and after that connect your Home Assistant to internet, all cybersecurity issues will back to your skin. And that is the main idea what we right now have for our Kusama network community. We think that you should use inside your local network nice application like a Home Assistant application, but when you go out and you will need to use internet, just put new generation of internet technologies in place of cloud. And what is the fun is that, of course, it's not a good example to use blockchain transactions to interact with a smart lamp when you're inside home, as I said, and for that you can use a nice application. But when you're outside, it's not a big question to wait 20 seconds or 10 seconds before you will receive confirmation of your lights out and so on. So yeah, this is a main idea behind our packages and software, what our team made in the last year, and what we propose for you to use right now. Just make our stuff in the local network based on open source Home Assistant solution, and try to use Kusama parachain in place of cloud for your interaction outside your home. And this is some like a vision of next improvements of our parachain. We right now have a standard functionality like in any cloud. You can just switch on, switch off your smart devices inside home under Kusama parachain control. You can receive telemetry in combination of blockchain and IPFS, because Sometimes you need to get more data and put hash and get data from IPFS as the standard pattern right now. We have a more specific solution for IoT market with name Digital Twins, and you can find more information in Robonomics white paper about Digital Twins. Another one is a very nice function. What I like is a robot as a service solution, because, for example, for me and for a lot of Robonomics developers, idea of combining of technical and economical details into one transaction is something what nobody can do without right now blockchain technology and decentralized technologies. You cannot combine payment and technical details into one transaction. Our transactions in vending machine, when you try to get coffee, happening with the two transactions. First to bank account for transferring your funds, and secondly between bank cloud and Amazon Web Services, which control your vending machine or something. And one more very specific but important for today's solution, what we made in Kusama Pro Chain form is IT subscriptions. For IT markets, it's not a good idea to use gas fee market, right? Because you need to really have a very predictable latency. And we decided to make subscriptions, which means you can just ordering IT subscription on Pro Chain, and next month all your transaction will have a priority, and that means you will never wait 30 minutes or 60 minutes before your transaction will happen. So we try to estimate the limit of transactions to our Pro Chain and issue new subscriptions less than transaction per second in our Pro Chain. Secondly, what we think will be was not that right now you can find in cloud solution, that we can connect you with other nice solutions in form of Pro Chain, like for example identity solutions for user applications, because anyway on the next step of your startup or your IT application you will have some question to identity, you will have a question about storage and other stuff, and we don't need to make it with our hands. We just can connect with cross consensus messaging protocol, and it's happening right now. We just finished with opening state mine channel, and we will make in the summer more integration with some Pro Chains. Yeah. So, as I said, our main vision is just make the same what cloud providers offer you for your home automation with some specific solutions like IT subscription to avoid the problems from blockchain side, and yeah, give you opportunity to connect and interact outside your home without cybersecurity and privacy issues. So this was my short introduction to vision and main scheme of how we are thinking you should start. You should start from some brand awarded solution. Try to find the first articles about cybersecurity personally, and after that try to fix all of the stuff. Spend around 1 year, and after that, I guess you will make some good stuff for your home automation. Right now, I will show you from my laptop how I can interact with the smart lamp. And if you have a Polkadot.js extension, you know what is a substrate portal. You can make it in this day too, so you can just only watch on the screen or try to with your hands. So, yeah, you know, here is a Polkadot.js website where you can find the extension, and you can open substrate portal. Here is it. You can find in Kusama section Robonomics Core Chain. Just switch to Robonomics Core Chain, going to accounts, and try to create new account, but you need to go to advanced options and change cryptography to address. Oh. But it's not on my. Buttons. No, it's my. Hey guys. Okay, yeah. So, I recommend you to create a new account for your experiments with Robonomics Core Chain and this functionality. First of all, because you need to use another type of cryptography, not the default option. And it's very important for today. Maybe we will make more improvements and to work with the shore. But right now you need to use Edwards. Just create a new account for Robonomics Core Chain. This will be your address in form of Robonomics Core Chain for the first part. Keep your mnemonic phrase, your seed phrase, and after that, restore your created account with Edwards cryptography from JSON file. I made it, and so here is my Decoded demo account. After you will make it, go to Robonomics.network website, open section use, and go to our DAP. Here is it. Go to navigation, open services, and here is the first application. What you will find is lights up. You can find here your account, what you just created. After that, you will need to go to Telegram and put your Robonomics Core Chain address to our Telegram bot. And after that, in the next 2 minutes, I guess, around, your IT subscription will be activated. You will see this information. Yeah, and after that, you can try to choose any color, like maybe red or yellow. Submit transaction. Yeah, and wait some time. What is interesting in this case? When you will add your account to Telegram bot and try to interact with Robonomics Core Chain, as you can just transaction submitted. And right now we're waiting for data about core will get it. Yeah, it's here. This. Woo! Yes. What is the most interesting in this case? I created new account without any tokens, without anything, and put this account from not me but Telegram bot, put it as an administrator in IoT subscription on Robonomics Pro chain. And it means you can just create one administrator account and add all your colleagues and friends for your co-living, co-working, or other place, and they can interact with the home automation without any transaction fee. It will be happening inside your subscription. And it's very easy, and as you can see, you don't need to make additional steps. Yeah, I showed how you need to create account in Substrate port or import it in Polkadot.js extension, but I guess it's more question about development, but not about architecture. In architecture, how you can see that it works, and it works without any additional payment, transaction fee payment. So let's try to make one more, and maybe someone else will do the same. Okay, for example, blue. Yeah, if someone will have a question how to make the same in the next 5 minutes, you can just open hand, I will help you with that. So, yeah, let's wait 1 or 2 minutes, maybe someone will try, and I will show you the next decentralized application, which should be more interesting in practical cases. Yeah. So, as you can see, it works twice, so it's more than happening sometimes. This application will be available after Friday with streaming on YouTube, so you can interact from any place in the world with a smart lab in our laboratory. So try it. Let's back to. So maybe you can stay. Let's repeat our steps and go forward. First of all, as I said, you need to create a new account with the Substrate portal because in Polkadot.js extension, as I know, you can choose advanced options right now. Secondly, you will get JSON file and put it inside Polkadot.js extension. Go to Telegram or Robonomics free areas and put your address in form of Robonomics port chain. And after that, go to Robonomics.network website, open DApp section with the services, open the first service, and try to interact with the smart lamp from any place in the world. Okay, the next one. And in my opinion, it's best what we can propose for Polkadot community this year or maybe in the summer. Co-working administrator case, what it means. You or someone in your team should care about interaction with office places, office devices inside, and in some day he will just or she will just going outside to Bali or some else place. We propose to use combination of Robonomics port chain with a home assistant, where an administrator can create with additional software packages what we made, create home assistant accounts. It means administrator from any place in the world can add new users to local Home Assistant without real connection to Home Assistant. In our scheme, for example, let's back to this scheme. For example, you have a Home Assistant on your home server. You're outside local network, and you can use just Decentralized application to put new accounts of your colleagues into Robonomics core chain, and it will be access control list. How it works inside? Your home server with Home Assistant will find information about new accounts in IoT subscription with our software, our packages for Home Assistant. We'll create password encrypted with your cryptographic keys and put it in Robonomics core chain. After that, you can just decrypt your password, going inside the local network to Home Assistant application, and just interact with our smart devices without transaction to blockchain, because, as I said, you can use inside local network your application. So in this case, administrator outside will not have direct access to Raspberry Pi with the Home Assistant, but with additional packages from Robonomics team, your Home Assistant can interact with the Kusama core chain, find information about your account, create a password, encrypt it, and put it inside blockchain. So after that, you can just decrypt your password and going inside your local network too. And you can so change your access control list and our stuff without any security issues. So let's go to the next demo. We can back to services and find the next one. Here is it. Home Assistant account. This application will find for you information, encrypted information by Home Assistant based on your account, and you need to put your seed phrase here, because right now we cannot interact with the Polkadot.js extension to decrypt and encrypt information. Maybe we'll make a new pull request, but as I know, one pull request, one issue in Polkadot.js extension repository about encryption and decryption button for dApps existed. So maybe they will add. Anyway, as I said, just create additional one account without any tokens and any cryptocurrency on your board. You don't need to have any tokens, as you see, to interact. So just create a new account, because sometimes you will need, as I showed you, what I will do right now, I will put my seed, decrypt password, my, as you can see again, will be my ProChain account. A second, I just decrypted password process. And look on address, it's a local network address, not available from internet. So here is a, because I'm, so here is my account, I'm just authorized here, and I can interact, as you can see, with 1 second, open and change color of this lamp, find information that here is more than 30 degrees right now, and motion sensors here working perfect, I guess. Anyway, so here is a standard interface of Home Assistant, and it's work nice when you're inside local network, and I just authorized it with my blockchain account, don't make any interaction outside the local network to create account inside Home Assistant, and it's all available for you right now. You can go to Robonomics website, find a wiki, and make for your colleagues the same. Yeah. If you would like to try, you will need to connect. The main issue here is you should find Robonomics Wi-Fi access point and use this password before you will go to local network application by Home Assistant. Try it. And very similar use case will be available online on the next week too, because we just finished with Robonomics.academy intro course, where you can make all steps to interact with different types of sensors and IoT devices under Kusama blockchain control with additional information on how you can do that. Yeah. And last part of my presentation about current earnings projects, what we are doing right now with the Kusama blockchain. Let's start from my favorite, I guess. It's a non-commercial project where we designed pollution measurement sensors. It's very cheap. It's very cheap sensors, around under $30, and very nice because I used it in the last 2 years, around 50 sensors of the sensors, put it around my home city, and it really works every time when humidity up or some dust in the air. I found our information from pollution measurement sensors. So our implementation open source and open hardware. So you can just get some hardware specification. You can find standard open source solution for this type of sensors. Put it together, for example, without our support, or with us if you would like to get the ready-to-work sensor. And after that, you can start measure pollution level outside, for example, your home. And if your colleagues will join you in the other places around the world, around your city, it will be nice to see after that pollution measurement map of your city with the tenor. For example, in Germany, Luftdaten project, if you heard about it, if not, just try to find information Luftdaten project. Thousands, I guess maybe 10,000 or more sensors right now in Germany. So here is our map, yeah, and sensor what we get. Interaction with decentralized application in this case happening between your browser and sensors with IPFS publisher subscriber and in real time form. So for me it's a very nice case where really happened some new generation of internet applications, because before that I can imagine how sensors can just send information to your browser. But in this case, it works. So try to find information on Robonomics.network website about this more. It's not non-commercial project, so we don't have any incentivization models. We will not pay you for your data collections. It's just up to you to make or not inside your home, so like a civil observation network with your colleagues. Second, more commercial, but about pollution measurement on water, but because we are mostly robotics engineers and most part of our IT project not about smart devices, but more about complex. So we invented water drone with autopilot system on board, which have a nice sensors and can go with the autopilot route in any lake or river, but not with a big wave like should be less 1 meter. And collect data and put it in power chain with our software. So our software and hardware implementation you can find on our website too. So you can make the same. People asking me about virus, but you can see it's not a virus, it's just a rope. If something happens with the autopilot system, when it's on the middle of lake, yeah, here is it. So yeah, this is the second project what we try to finish with this year to propose open source hardware and software implementation for water pollution measurement in any place where you can. Here is one more. This is most complex scenario. We just finished in the last 6 months with Boston Dynamics Sport Educational Program. And this is the first in the world educational program available for developers around the world. It means if you, as a student in university, interested to know how real, so complex and very famous, popular type of robotics works, you can find some simulations, but it's not work perfectly. So if you interested to find educational course, we have a real Boston Dynamics spot in San Francisco Bay Area lab. You can shadow your lesson and pay with state-mined tokens on Kusama. And what is the most interesting in this case, after your session, Sport will put our data into blockchain, and in some day, after 5 lessons, for example, you can go to any factory where they need operator of Boston Dynamics and just present telemetry, our evidence of how you interact with the real spot. So if on the other side will be qualified engineer, he will just watch how you interact with the spot, and you will get your new job with the spot. So yeah, here is it. I should have one more demo about use case with smart building of setting, but we just finished with pilots for runtime, and we need more time to upgrade existing network. So I guess in the end of the next week, we will publish instruction how you can just connect your smart plug inside your home to substrate-based blockchain to offsetting services. If your company interested to make a public report about offsetting of your electricity consumption, we will get some carbon credits inside blockchain. Information about electricity consumption will be autonomously going to Robonomics blockchain, and based on this information, we will just spend or burn carbon credit tokens. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, it's so yeah. This is it. what you can find about my personal job outside this workshop, you can find on Google Scholar, just scan this QR code. All these papers about blockchain plus robotics R&D projects in the last 7 years. With my team, we made around 20 R&D projects, so you can find a very nice story how you can adapt for a more complex scenario than just smart lamp. And anyway, thank you for your attention, and if you will have any question, I will be here in the next 2 days. So, thank you.
Thank you. So we actually do have a few minutes for questions. If you have, just put your hand up and someone will come and give you a microphone. All right.
Hi. First of all, thanks a lot for the amazing presentation. Regarding the free transactions that users can do, so is there like a subscription fee being used to pay for the transactions?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a very nice scheme of how we made IT subscriptions. We decided to create auction mechanism like in Polkadot for purchase, but only with 20 blocks to make a new bet. And it's a mechanism to find a good price of real price of subscription. And yeah, you will pay a native token for your subscription. It's right now available only for 1 month. And you will get your separated transactions into blockchain. I will publish the chapter 3 in the next month about how it works, because right now you can find only the first chapter with the vision of Robonomics.network and second chapter about more engineering and IoT stuff, but I recommend you to read these articles. And last one, chapter 3 about tokenomics and how working IoT subscription scheme will be published in the next month. Anyway. Yeah?
I have a question here. It's concerning your first use case with the lights.
Yes.
If I understood well, is it possible for the administrator account to limitate the devices that the invited account can create access to this device? The meaning for me is that can I manage all the accounts I've created to have access to a certain...
Yeah, you can manage user accounts to interact with any type of smart devices inside your home. It's some question to make configuration file for Home Assistant, but you can find this information. But anyway, you can manage access to coffee machine inside your office or smart lock, and grant access for your parents or your friends. Anyway, it's flexible, and you can put any accounts, any amount of accounts to your IT subscription, and it will be free for them.
Great. Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for a great presentation. Wanted to ask and maybe suggest, did you ever try to play with small dot instead of Polkadot.js apps? Because like for the same experiment with the bulb, it might considerably minimize the latency.
Yeah, it's one of the issues what we have in the summer to try other solutions, but you know, when you start from scratch of Substrate framework and found Polkadot.js extension 2 years ago, it's very hard to think about other solutions happening each month, and you think, okay, it should be, but only it started in this year. I will wait 1 year more, and if it will exist, we will start to look some additional extensions, yeah. But our main question about encrypt and decrypt button in decentralized application right now